In this video, we're diving into whether NordVPN is actually the best VPN for unblocking YouTube content around the world. Not just on paper, but in real life. What's going on, everyone? My name's Eric Hunsaker, and on this channel, we cut through the fluff to help you stream what you love without dealing with annoying restrictions or confusing tech talk. Now, if you've ever clicked a video on YouTube and have gotten the little gray message saying this content isn't available in your country, you already know just how frustrating it can be. Now, the whole point of the internet is to connect people everywhere. Licensing deals and regional rules keep a lot of content locked behind borders. That's where VPNs come in. And NordVPN is one of the biggest names out there, known for speed, security, and streaming. But does it really deserve its reputation when it comes to YouTube unblocking? Let's find out. Unblocking YouTube, why it's so tricky. So before we even get into NordVPN, let's talk about what makes YouTube so complicated to unblock in the first place. Unlike Netflix or Hulu, YouTube isn't one big locked library. It's a global platform where every uploader can set their own restrictions. Some videos are region specific because of copyright laws or music licensing, while others are government restricted due to censorship or local regulations. For example, let's say you're traveling in Germany and you try to watch a music video that's only licensed for US viewers. You'll get blocked. Or maybe you're in a country where certain political or news content is restricted entirely. YouTube will automatically hide it based on your location. The thing is, YouTube uses your IP address to figure out where you are. So when you connect through a VPN, you're basically borrowing an IP from a different country. That's how you can make YouTube think you're watching from the US, Japan, or anywhere else. Sounds simple, right? But here's the catch. Not all VPNs can do it reliably. YouTube actively identifies and blocks IP addresses that belong to VPNs. Many smaller or free services end up on those block lists within weeks, and suddenly half your servers can't play videos anymore. To be considered one of the best for YouTube, a VPN has to do three things really well. Stay ahead of YouTube's blocks by constantly refreshing IP addresses. Maintain fast, consistent speed so you can stream HD or 4K without buffering. Work across multiple regions so you're not limited to one or two countries. That's the bar NordVPN has to clear. Let's see how it stacks up. NordVPN's network size and speed. NordVPN is massive. We're talking over 5,400 servers spread across 60 plus countries. It's a huge advantage when it comes to streaming because it means less congestion and way more options to find a working IP. Think of it like trying to find an empty lane on the freeway. If you only have one or two, traffic piles up. But if you have dozens of routes to choose from, you can just hop over to a clearer one anytime. When YouTube blocks one of NordVPN's IPs, you can easily switch to another. No waiting for the company to fix it, no hunting through Reddit for which server works right now. It's literally as simple as clicking a new location. All right, now let's talk about speed, because none of this matters if the video keeps buffering every 10 seconds. NordVPN uses its own protocol called NordLynx, which is based on the modern WireGuard framework. WireGuard is known for being light, fast, and secure, but Nord added their own privacy tweaks to it. The result is a protocol that's usually faster than the older OpenVPN and IPv2 options that most VPNs still rely on. In real-world tests, NordVPN consistently delivers high speeds, especially on nearby servers. You can easily stream in 1080p or even 4K without lag, as long as your regular internet connection is solid. It's not always the fastest in the world. ExpressVPN sometimes edges it out by a few megabits per second, but honestly, for most people, it's not even going to be noticeable. What matters more is stability, and NordVPN handles it really well. If you're connecting to a server on the other side of the globe, like Japan from the US, you might see a small drop in speed due to distance, but it's still perfectly usable for streaming. The trick is to pick a server that's both unblocked and geographically reasonable. Bypassing geo-restrictions with NordVPN. This is where NordVPN really shines. Unblocking content isn't just something it can do, it's something it's built for. NordVPN's entire network is optimized to bypass regional restrictions, and that includes not just YouTube, but also Netflix, Disney+, Hulu, BBC iPlayer, and pretty much every major platform. With YouTube specifically, it's almost plug and play. So let's say you want to watch content that's only available in Japan. You open NordVPN, connect to a Tokyo server, refresh your browser, and boom, you're suddenly watching the Japanese version of YouTube with access to content you couldn't see before. The same goes for regional sports highlights, movie trailers, or restricted music videos that are blocked elsewhere. Now, if a particular IP gets flagged and blocked, which happens from time to time with every VPN, NordVPN's huge server pool gives you a ton of backup options. You can just switch to another server in the same country and try again. Usually it works instantly. Another feature worth mentioning is Smart Play. It's NordVPN's hybrid of a VPN and smart DNS, which helps unblock content on devices that don't support traditional VPN apps, like smart TVs, gaming consoles, or even some older media streamers. So even if your TV doesn't have a VPN app, you can still reroute your traffic through NordVPN's Smart Play feature at the router or the DNS level, and it'll work like magic. That's a big win for people who watch YouTube on the big screen instead of their laptop. This kind of flexibility gives NordVPN a serious edge over basic or cheaper VPNs that only work on desktop and mobile. User experience and simplicity. A VPN can have all the servers and speed in the world, but if it's confusing to use, beginners won't stick to it. NordVPN's interface is one of the cleanest out there. When you open the app, you're greeted with a world map. You can either drag around and click the country you want to connect to, or use the search bar to find one instantly. There's a quick connect button that automatically picks the best server based on distance, speed, and load. If you're just trying to watch YouTube without fiddling with settings, Quick Connect is perfect. One click and you're good to go. The mobile apps are just as simple. You get a clean layout, smooth scrolling map, and a few clear settings like auto connect on Wi-Fi or kill switch. That's it. There's no complicated setup screens or endless toggles that you don't understand. And NordVPN allows up to 6 devices on a single subscription. That means you can be watching on your TV, your laptop, your phone, and your tablet all at once with the same account. For families or shared households, that's huge. Streaming also feels smooth because NordVPN doesn't throttle your connection or set data caps. You can watch YouTube for hours, binge videos, or even stream live events in high quality without worrying about bandwidth limits. Now, another small but underrated feature is how quickly you can switch regions. If you're testing different countries to find one that works for a specific video, the app lets you disconnect and reconnect almost instantly. You're not sitting around for 30 seconds waiting for a tunnel to rebuild every time. All of that adds up to a user experience that feels effortless. And that's exactly what you want when you just want to watch, not troubleshoot. Privacy and security. Now let's be real. Most people use a VPN primarily for streaming. Privacy still matters. When you're connected to a VPN, you're trusting that company with your data. If they're keeping logs, monitoring activity, or selling information to third parties, that defeats the entire purpose. NordVPN's track record on privacy is one of the reasons it's so respected. They use AES 256 encryption, which is basically the industry standard. It's the same level of encryption used by governments and banks. They also run their entire infrastructure on RAM-only servers, which means no data is written to hard drives. If a server ever gets seized or rebooted, everything is wiped automatically. That's a huge deal for anyone concerned about data leaks or government surveillance. And here's something that sets Nord apart. Their no logs policy has been independently audited multiple times by outside firms like PwC and Deloitte. That means it's not just a claim, it's been verified. They don't log your traffic, connection times, or IP addresses. For YouTube streaming, this might not sound like a big deal, but it actually is. If you're watching content that's blocked in your country, especially political or journalistic material, you want the peace of mind that your activity isn't being traced back to you. NordVPN also includes DNS leak protection and a kill switch that instantly cuts off your internet if the VPN connection drops. So even if your Wi-Fi hiccups for a second, your real IP won't be exposed. And beyond streaming, all of these features make NordVPN a well-rounded privacy tool, not just an entertainment hack. Potential drawbacks. All right, so what's the catch? No VPN is perfect, and NordVPN has its quirks too. One small issue is that some servers can get congested, especially in popular regions like the US or the UK. NordVPN has a massive user base, and that can mean occasional slowdowns during peak hours. The easy fix is to switch to a less crowded location. Nord's app even shows you which servers are under heavy load. Another minor annoyance is that but IP rotations can occasionally interrupt a session. NordVPN automatically refreshes IPs on some servers for security reasons. Most of the time, you won't notice it, but once in a while, you might see your video buffer or disconnect for a second before resuming. And then there's the pricing. It's not the most expensive, but it's also not the cheapest. It usually lands in the mid-range, a few dollars per month on a long-term plan. If you only care about watching YouTube and you don't need advanced privacy tools, a cheaper VPN might technically do the job, but you'll often trade reliability and speed for that savings. So while NordVPN isn't flawless, most of these drawbacks are pretty mild, and honestly, the pros outweigh them by a long shot. How to get the best results. Let's make this practical for a second. If you're using NordVPN specifically to unblock YouTube, here's how to get the most consistent results. Pick a server close to your target country. For example, if you're trying to watch Japanese content, connect to Tokyo instead of something random like Singapore. The closer the server is to the origin of the content, the better the connection quality. Clear your browser cookies before switching regions. YouTube sometimes caches location data, so clearing cookies helps make sure it recognizes your new location. Use Nord Linux instead of OpenVPN for speed. You can switch this in the app under Settings, and then VPN Protocol. Nord Linux is almost always going to give you faster and smoother streaming. Test Smart Play if you're watching on a TV or console. It takes a few extra steps to set up, but once it's running, you won't have to reconnect manually every time. These small tweaks can make a big difference in how reliably you're able to unblock YouTube videos. So is NordVPN the best VPN for YouTube? Honestly, it's right up there at the top. Between its huge server network, strong privacy standards, great speeds, and cross-device support, NordVPN checks almost every box that matters. You can access content from around the world, stream in 4K without lag, and do it all securely. Now, ExpressVPN might have a slight edge in raw speed and consistency, but NordVPN wins on value. You get nearly the same experience for a noticeably lower price, plus some added privacy tools that go beyond streaming. If you're new to VPNs or just want something that works out of the box, NordVPN is a safe and reliable pick. It's fast enough for binge watching, secure enough for privacy, and simple enough for anyone to use. Now, if you want to check it out, we'll go ahead and leave that link for you down in the description below. It'll bring you to this page right here where you can go ahead and click on Get the Deal, and then from here you can choose from one of their 4 different plans. Now, at the time of recording this, NordVPN is currently running their Black Friday sale, so you're going to get some of the best pricing ever possible by using this link. Now, you'll see they got 4 different plans: the basic, the plus, the complete, and the prime plan. You can also choose the term you want to commit to, whether it's 2 year, 1 year, or 1 month. I'm not going to go through every single one, but just kind of show you briefly here the different pricing when you change the term. So obviously you're going to get the most savings on the longer term you commit to. So, let's go ahead and take a look at this plus plan here. It comes out to $375 per month when you go ahead and get 2 years signed up with that. So for $105.03, you're going to get 2 full years plus 4 extra months, which is a great deal. NordVPN also has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it out and see if it's going to work for you and make your decision within 30 days. So again, we'll leave that link for you down in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything extra to use it, but it does help support the channel and lets us keep creating content just like this. So if you end up using it, we thank you so much in advance. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you here in the next video.